I'm Corbitt Wall with DV Auction, here with this feeder flash feature. I'm sitting here with Dane Kuper of Performance Livestock Analytics. How are you doing, Dane?
Doing great. Great to be sitting here with you,
Oh,
Corbitt.
sure. It's good to be here. You guys have been with us, or we've been promoting Performance Livestock Analytics for several years here, and a lot of people are calling in. And just tell me what exactly this is. This is software for a cattle feeder, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. As technology was evolving, connectivity on farm, smartphones, it felt like the cattle management technology out there just wasn't there. Mm-hmm. Like, I couldn't find a software for me that was in the cloud. It was like a CD-ROM you put in your computer. I'm like, hey, as I'm traveling for work, I can't see what I'm doing. I'm like, we're going to build this platform. And so Dustin Balsley, my partner, and I, we worked together actually at our prior company, mm-hmm. the Climate Corporation, and we just started going to work. Our goal was to build a cloud-based software that the average farmer could use. Mm-hmm. If you think about it, you know this probably more than I do. These big corporate yards have always had their data management, in-house mm-hmm. systems.
It's part of their edge, yeah.
It was kind of their upper hand.
Yeah.
Like, they are running a business. Mm-hmm. Not that the average 1,500 head farmer feeder wasn't doing a good job, but they didn't have that, mm-hmm. right? They have a successful family operation, so we're like, man, there's a missed market here when we think about my own personal 800 head feedlot farm and Dustin's family farm, mm-hmm. and all the farmers we saw around us that just didn't have anything. I mean, if you think about it, we saw, there was 5,000 to 10,000 head feedlot operations that were doing no data management from a software perspective that would go to the accountant at the end of the year, figure out if we made money or not.
Going to happen, yeah.
You got millions of dollars of capital at risk.
So once you put this together, y'all's original platform, some pretty big outfits saw some value in it, right?
That's right. The biggest thing we did was we created that iPad interface uh-huh. that Bluetooth connects to the scale head.
Oh, yeah.
And farmers use that interface to load their ingredients and deliver to the pen. So kind of automate that whole data entry process. If you had to wake up every day, enter what you fed, I think people would just get annoyed at that.
No, they wouldn't do it.
Right.
They wouldn't stay after.
But what we found is this scale app, is what we call it. People just loved waking up and feeding cattle with it. It just made their life so much easier when they woke up every day to feed cattle. Mm-hmm. That was the key ticket for us. And then once one farmer got on it, we saw them refer it to 3 other cattle operations. And so in the early days, it actually became overwhelming for Dustin and myself. We put it on the market February, I think, of 2017. But we quickly realized, we're like, hey, we got 20 operations to set up, and it's me and you. We can't go do this. And we just kind of kept putting one foot in front of the other, building the platform out, hiring customer success, hiring a sales team. But I would say without that exposure, I would say on the other side of the fence, from a row crop startup standpoint, it really helped shape our minds in a forward-thinking way of what could be brought to the cattle industry that we felt was more relevant in the sense that this is a workflow that happens every day. In row crop, you plant your crop once a year. Mm-hmm. In the cattle industry, you wake up and feed cattle every day. There's volatility. There's decisions every day you got to make. So I don't think we truly understood the market and the average independent cattle feeders opportunity we had to really serve them in this capacity. But it became quickly relevant when we hit the market. Referrals kept hitting.
This software isn't just something that you built once and then you don't ever keep adding to it. You guys are constantly upgrading and tweaking this system, right? Yeah,
that's what's, our team is about a 45-person team, and 20 of those are software engineers.
Really?
That are coding, doing development, and enhancements every day. I think a lot of people that develop technology and software really overlook the aspect of like, all right, I want to build this to be the best thing on the market. But really, what's also most important, it has to be easy to use. I think there's a ton of experiences on the market.
Like one of the phrases I always say is, it's as easy to use as your cell phone.
That's right. And that was a key part of, we use a lot of those analogies.
Okay. So they do have like an app or something that they get to when they subscribe to your services?
Yeah, that's right. So you can access obviously the software anywhere from the cloud. Sure. You log in from a web browser on your computer, your phone. You can feed with your iPhone. right? Actually, a lot of our customers don't feed with an iPad.
Yeah.
They're just Bluetooth connected with their iPhone.
Right.
And that experience is super clean and easy.
Makes it so easy for them.
Oh, man, a ton of stories about farmers and operators that like man, I can't get dad or grandpa to start using the platform, or like my dad doesn't even have a smartphone. I don't know if this is for us.
And that flip phone won't work.
That's right. But once we would put the iPad in their hand, now they would call us and be like, I can't take that iPad away from grandpa now.
Sure.
Like he won't feed without it.
Oh, he loves it.
Yeah, and so I don't know if we got lucky or we were smart in the sense of how that was put together and how much people liked it.
Explain to us what the product that comes out is. You get these concise reports, tells you where you're at, how you're getting along. You're getting a lot of good information there, right?
Yeah, that's right. So obviously, like I said, the biggest thing was like, let's make the workflow of feeding cattle every day easy. Mm-hmm. And then let's give them all the insights they need to make the best decisions in their business. All that feed data flows into the system. So they got kind of a real-time yard sheet, you could call it, within Performance Beef. You could see the cattle on feed, what they weigh, what your break-even is, cost of gain, all in real time.
Something that they would think, I'd have to be in a big commercial feed yard to be doing that.
That's right.
And this is at their own facility,
That's right.
And I've had a lot of people come to me and asked about Performance Livestock Analytics, and they think, I've just got kind of a little deal out here. I got a few hundred head on feed, and I just have a mixer wagon, and I'm not high tech. And I said, this is going to make you look like you're high tech. But then they'll tell me, they say, I do custom feed some cattle for some guys, but I want those kinds of reports to come out. I want to be able to send them cost of gains, break evens, all this kind of stuff. But I don't know how to do it. Well, get hooked up with the PLA, and then all of a sudden you're going to look very professional.
Absolutely. And I think our average size customer is 1,800 head.
Really?
Right? And so, but we have the extremes on both ends of it. There's 20, 30, 40,000 head feed yards, but there's a 100, 250 head cattle operation. Our subscription model, it costs $195 a month, regardless what size you are. Oh. And really, if you look at the dollars and cents and the ROI and the capital you have at risk, even on 250 head of cattle, right? You've got, you could get up to close to $1 million of capital at risk pretty quick just with that many heads.
Sure.
So the cost model, as you think about it, even for the smallest operator, continues to be a no-brainer. And we've got, I would say, just a ton of testimonials and examples of those farms that just don't even blink an eye at that subscription.
And if it helped them at all, which a lot of these people, it's going to help them a ton, to get those information reports coming out.
One thing that really stuck with me, I think one year Elanco was presenting, I don't know if it was NCBA or a different one, but it showed through their benchmark data, the average profitability within the cattle industry over a trending certain period. And it was like $1 a head is what it come out to.
It's not good.
And so it doesn't pay to be average when you think about it. If you break that down of all right, what am I doing here? It's well, if you're average within your performance and what you do, you're break even. It's the people that are above average that generally are squeezing out that extra margin. And if you're below average, you're probably losing money. At the end of the day, it comes down to how do we make you a better operator? How do you make better decisions? How do we make you better than average?
So, if feed costs change or they get some different products in, they can go in there and actually tweak what they're feeding.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the simple thing. If you think of the use of your iPhone, like you just mentioned, to be able to to really get 2 clicks and to get to where you need to change a variable.
Of course, they're getting consulting from their nutritionist, but they can go in and tweak their ration and see where they're at all the time.
Yeah, and that's a big key piece too. If you think about it, most platforms and softwares were not in the cloud at all when we came to market, which meant your consultant, your nutritionist, didn't have access to the data or your performance on the farm. I always say that your nutritionist should never come to the farm and ask how the cattle are doing.
He should know before he comes out.
He should dang near know when he comes out, I see we've got some death loss over here.
And a lot of the nutritionists like the information the way it comes from you guys. Yeah.
You connect your nutritionist right into the platform. Heck, they can watch you feed real time.
Really?
Before people would give you the binder of your new ration sheets. You got new feed stuffs. I remember I went to a customer's house, and he probably had a stack of binders, at least this tall.
Yeah.
Every time he had new feedstuffs, it was a new ration binder. I mean, now today, that nutritionist just goes right in their account, updates the rations, and texts them and says, hey, you're good to go.
Wow.
So it's definitely at that time it was a revelation for the industry. I think there's a ton of more exciting things to come when we think about how AI is really evolving and becoming more and more relevant about helping just take that data, giving us answers or giving us really good insights really quickly without digging more complicated in any reports. And so obviously a ton of stuff we're working on when it comes to that standpoint. But what's number one still, Corbitt, is the fact that it still has to be easy. And that's one that holds true every day for us, is that we can overcomplicate it real quick and ruin it for a lot of people. But our thing is, like, you get on that platform and it's easy. It's easy to use.
Yeah, and you're taking something that's very complex and kind of overwhelming for a lot of people that are feeding cattle, and you're making it into something simple for them and something that they can make sense out of and get a lot of value out of for less than $200 a month.
That's right.
That's unbelievable. Well, I'll tell you what, Dane, I appreciate you giving us this information about performance livestock analytics, and this has been Corbitt Wall with DV Auction.